All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Friday. Thank goodness. Oh, my God. Today is Friday, March 7th, 2025. This is episode 829 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Gerald Auger, Dr. Gerald Auger, nerd. And over the next hour, me, you, Mara Levy, Lara Flores, Justin Golden, Kimberly Can Fix It in the mod chat. Nerman, Marcus Kyler, Daniel Harper, Medine G, early into the chats like Augusta Delgado, Carey, Luke Canfield. Guys, we are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of the stories. Specifically, what does it mean to you? How can you use this information professionally to either kick butt as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break in the industry, use it to crush a job interview? We say it every day. I know it sounds like it's on repeat, but honestly, guys, it's the deal. And, it's wake up, rise and grind, basically. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, the Night's Watch, that's what working in cyber is. You got to man that wall and do it day in, day out. And getting daily threat intelligence, staying up to date is part of the job, part of the requirement. Hashtag lifelong learners need apply. So we got a great show for you today. I want you to know I do not research or prep for any of the stories.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that, honestly. Plus, it's a Friday. Really. We want to speed run this show, get you all the value, squeeze all the value out of that juice, or not out of that juice, out of that fruit. Get all the juice out of it. And then move over to jaw jacking, where we're going to continue the train. Now, it is the first Friday of the month, which means only one thing. If you're a newcomer here and you are unaware of what we do, on the first Friday of the month every month, we actually play bingo live on stream. So if you are interested in playing alongside us, it's very easy. There is a pinned comment in chat on YouTube. It's first Friday bingo. I'll drop it again in chat just so everybody has it, okay? Is this going to work? There you go. There you go. There's a link. Go ahead and click it. Giddy up on there. And just, as I say things, watch. Ready?
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. Doink. And go ahead and mark Randy Moss's big, beautiful face. So go ahead. We got that. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern time, we're actually doing a Discord event, ! Discord in chat. If you want, we're going to do an AMA live in Discord. So we are doing a lot more activities and events and, just community things in Discord. If you caught my show last night with B-Dubs, she's talking about Discord's where it's at. We're trying to make it where it's at over at the Simply Cyber community. So check it out. It's all about good times. Guys, before we get into it, let me say shout out and holla, holla, holla to the stream sponsors. I see one beautiful Eric Taylor in the behind the glass helping produce the episode today. So let's talk about Eric Taylor and the crew over at Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and, more importantly, recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks, they both suck and keep us employed, but they cause massive issues for businesses, and they can send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what? It doesn't have to be that way. Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Listen, you can't stop somebody from falling over into a mud puddle, but there are people who can help pick them up and wipe the mud off their clothes and get them fresh and dandy, ready to go back into the office looking clean as a whistle. And that's what Eric Taylor and the Barricade Cyber people do metaphorically. They are not going to clean your clothes. They are doing that metaphorically for your business. So don't face ransomware attacks, business email compromise, any type of cyber criminal activity without a champion on your side. BarricadeCyber.com. Links in the description below. All right, guys. Before I run through the rest of the ads, let me tell you, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, episode 829, is worth half a CPE. So whether we're playing bingo or we're just kicking it old school, half a CPE. Why? Because the show's about an hour long, and we could say very, very confidently that half an hour of the show is dedicated to informing you on the top cyber news, giving you expert analysis, breaking it down. So that's 30 minutes, half a CPE. Take a screenshot of your name in chat, just like John De La Cruz just did. DP, KP, Senfilis, James Zudacudo. Just say what's up. Grab a screenshot. File it away. And once a year, count the screenshots, divide by 2. It's very, very easy. And it's what we're all about here. It's very easy. We don't make you register. Okay. So you're not going to get an email from me saying, here's your CPE. You got to put in a little bit of work in exchange for the anonymity of being here. All right, let's run through the rest of the ads. When we come back, I'm going to absolutely melt your face with the top cyber news stories. And a surprise, we have a very special one-off opportunity, and this isn't like some type of slapstick way of jamming in a promotion or something. You see this right here? That's a little hint. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you how you have the opportunity to win one of 3 pretty awesome prizes that have to do with this. So if you're listening on audio, you're going to have to stay because I'm not going to say what it is. If you're here visually, you know what it is. Back in 30, and I'm going to tell you all about this, a massive prize giveaway that we've got lined up for y'all. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit ThreatLocker. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right. Love it, love it, love it. And what's up? Good to have you team live, Aaron Strong. I also want to talk really quickly about Delete Me, and then I'm going to melt your face with all these announcements. I can't wait. Guys, Delete Me makes it quick and easy to safely remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable, including you, including me, including Carl. Delete Me knows your privacy is worth protecting. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want, and Delete Me and you want deleted, and their experts take it from there. As someone with an active online presence, which I'm all up in social media, if you've turned on LinkedIn for a second, you probably see my big stupid face all over it. Privacy is really important to me because, I want to protect my kids and my wife. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. You can get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code Simply Cyber. Thank you very much. And I've been using Delete Me for months and months and months. It's pretty good. So check it out. 2 crazy things. One, if you just jumped in here, we are playing bingo today. The link is in a... So really quickly, the bingo is a pin chat on YouTube. If you'd like to play along, really quickly, we can look to see how many people have cards right now. Oh, yeah, look at all you guys. Simply Cyber community members just jumping in here. So we got a lot of participants today. Don't be shy. Play along. It's just a fun thing that we do on the first Friday. Also, I want to tell everybody that Black Hills Information Security, they have a bunch of different business units, and Rekka Comics, you might recognize Rekka from the sweatshirts everybody wears. The Rekka Comics business has released their first Kickstarter funded campaign. The future is, asterisk, 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 asterisk. I don't know how to read that. I just say the future's now. Now, check this out, okay? This is why it's so important and such a one-off thing. I was a backer, okay? I backed the comic book through Kickstarter, and I received my package. Now, I haven't opened it yet because I'm going to do one of those stupid Gen Z unboxing 30-second videos where it's like I'm going to be like karate chopping and the box is going to pop open. I don't know how to do that, so I'm sure it's going to look horrible, but I've committed to making this Gen Z type short. But Jason Blanchard and the crew over at Rekka Comics message me and they're like, Jerry, I'm glad you got your box. We would love to give away 3 packages to your community, hardcover comic and I believe digital copies also of the series. So I'll get all the specific details, but there is a Rekka Comics package that is going to be available, 3 of them, okay? 3 of them, and these are wicked fun. This is awesome. And this is basically how you enter, okay? I'm going to tell you guys once. I'm going to make a video. When I open this box, I'm going to tell in the video how to, enroll as well. You have to go to the Discord, sir. Is Chris Whitlock here, by the way? Is Chris Whitlock here? Chris Whitlock. Oh, God, Chris Whitlock's not here. Here's how you enter. Go to the Discord server, okay? Go to the socials channel, which socials intro, okay? This is where you get, you introduce yourself. All you have to do is introduce yourself, drop socials, whatever. Even if you're a longtime community member, right? You could be employee too, right? Like Base Case. I think Base Case has been here longer than I have. Drop a hashtag giveaway, GIVEAWAY, giveaway in socials intro, and you will be entered. And a week from today, March 14th, just when jawjacking begins on Friday, March 14th, we will draw live 3 winners for this amazing prize package. So don't be shy. Get in there and just give me 1 second just to double check. Hashtag giveaway. Yeah, hashtag giveaway. I'm going to drop this in the chat right now. This is the hashtag you have to drop in the socials intro channel on the Simply Cyber Discord server. I'll tell everybody Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to make the short video. All right. Now that we've gotten that business out of the way, I'm super excited. If today's your first episode, you picked a hell of a one to show up today because we got prizes, we got bingo, we got all sorts of hot action. Stay tuned. We got jawjacking at the end. And of course, on Fridays, it's James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, joke of the week. But right now, guys, we got to get to work. So sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, March 7th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Ransomware group gang passes EDR via a webcam. The cybersecurity firm SRM discovered the unusual attack method conducted by the Akira ransomware gang during a recent incident response to one of their clients. The gang had initially accessed the victim's corporate network by way of an exposed remote access solution, and then they used AnyDesk to steal data for use as part of a double extortion attack. Attempts to deploy encryptors on Windows were blocked by the victim's EDR solution. Akira then scanned the network for other devices that could be used to encrypt the files and found a webcam and a fingerprint scanner. The attackers chose the webcam because it was vulnerable to remote shell access and unauthorized video feed viewing. It also ran on a Linux-based operating system compatible with Akira's Linux encryptor and did not have an EDR agent. The SRM team, speaking to Bleeping Computer, said, quote, Akira was subsequently able to encrypt files across the victim's network, even though there were patches available for the webcam's flaws, meaning that the attack, or at least this vector, was avoidable, end quote.
Wait, hold on.
So-
Hold on. Because there's something weird about that. Yeah, I'm with Eric Taylor on this one. Hold on. So give me a second to read this because it sounds like a nothing burger. Hold on. There's something very peculiar about this story. And Akira as a ransomware threat actor group is legit. Okay. They are a top tier one. Eventually, the threat actors drop a encrypted file containing ransomware payload, but the victim's EDR tool quarantined it. Good stuff there. They found a webcam, whatever. They took it over. All right. I'm not even going to saxophone this thing. EDR quarantines, threat actor. Okay. So, hold on. Interesting. Okay. Holy crap. All right. So this is interesting. So this is what they did. Okay. This is actually quite wild. Okay. So Akira ransomware gang gets into a victim's environment, right? And the victim has high quality EDR. Let's say they're running, well, I don't want to name a brand like CrowdStrike or Defender. I don't want to name a brand. Okay. So they're running some type of EDR solution that's good enough to stop Akira ransomware payloads from detonating in their environment. It's an absolute win. The SecOps people are high-fiving. The account manager at the EDR vendors, like, I told you, okay? Akira's not done yet, though. They find a webcam on the network. Now, the webcam is running, it said Linux, but chances are it is running Linux, but it's probably like BusyBox or some type of like wicked stripped down IoT Linux variant. And of course, there's no EDR because no one puts EDRs on IoT devices. As far as I know, that's not a market. Okay. Now they take over the web camera. Now you might say, woo, all right, everybody. Like it's the Geico pig where he sticks his head out the window. Hold on. Let me see this. This is it right here. This is them taking it. This is them taking it out like, woo, we took over a webcam. We win. Okay. But what's interesting here is that Akira was able to use SMB shares from the webcam because it is just a Linux variant. They were able to make an SMB share, which is weird because usually you have to have Samba unless things have changed. It's been a minute, okay, since I was dorking around in like Linux, Windows mixed environments. But typically on Linux, you'd have to use Samba to make an SMB share. What they did is they have the ability to basically see file shares on the webcam, which they have access to, which they're able to access through Linux, which they have control over, and then they detonated the ransomware payload. So really, they were only able to encrypt devices that were shareable to the Linux variant, okay? So that's what's up. Okay, so anyways, that's what I see. Now, another Eric Taylor didn't say this specifically, but what those webcams could be just writing to some type of like NAS device for video recordings, right? Like an internal video recording system or something like that, not like the crown jewels of the environment. So your mileage may vary, but I mean, this isn't necessarily a when I say it's wild, I meant it's wild that it was using SMB from the Linux into the Windows environment to bypass EDR. The actual Windows operating systems of the workstations not impacted. The file servers likely not impacted as far as the servers themselves go. Okay, let's keep going.
So Zoo updates January 2024 attack damage. Following up on the story we covered in January of 2024 and also featuring Akira, Officials say that, quote, everyone who purchased a general admission ticket or zoo membership between the year 2000 and April 2023 had their personal data stolen in the heist, and that includes PII, but also, quote, for people who made credit card transactions between January 2022 and April 2023, card details such as the last 4 digits of the number and expiration dates were also lifted, end quote. Details of all current and former staff members going back to 1989 were also stolen in the heist, which has been attributed to Akira.
Wait, Akira? Damn, Akira. Either CISO series just sorted by threat actor name and Akira was first on the list for the stories, or Akira's been busy bees. All right, so the Toronto Zoo, they're just going, hold on. I was trying to think of a funny pun around going bananas, but bananas would be more of a produce shop. I was thinking of going gorilla, going monkeys, but Toronto Zoo updating on their 2024 attack. If you visited the Toronto Zoo since the year 2000, your data has been compromised. What was the Toronto Zoo capturing? I mean, was it for the everyone who purchased a general admission ticket? So I guess email addresses, maybe credit card information. Hopefully not. I mean, payment card industry should be in effect and not let that stuff get there. Last 4 digits of the number, expiration date. Okay. I mean, here's another quick little thing. Credit cards, I don't know about you, but my credit cards expire every 4 years and they send you a new one. So essentially, all the credit cards that were captured from purchases from the year 2000 to 2021 are kind of dead data. So that helps manage the exposure. Okay. What else we got here? Yeah, so the Toronto Zoo. I mean, I guess basically if you look at the life cycle of a victim organization dealing with a ransomware attack, the Toronto Zoo is at the far right of boom. It is worth noting really quickly, this is for practitioners. January 2024 is when this went down. It is March 2025, so 15 months later, and Toronto is issuing their final update. So dealing with a ransomware attack, yes, in the thick of it, it's hot and heavy and it sucks. And the hot and heavy part can be a week or 2 weeks. But these cyber incidences, these compromises can have long tails as far as being your problem at the organization. So you can use, I guess you might want to integrate this into your awareness. When you're I almost wouldn't put this into a tabletop exercise, but after doing a tabletop exercise with leadership, use this as kind of part of the out briefing and be hey, just so you know, an incident like this could have a long tail of even up to 15 months, as seen in this example with the Toronto Zoo, where they suffered a similar breach that we did in a simulation today. And 15 months later, they were still kind of cleaning up the mess, just to make everybody aware. Hey, SS passed the SEC Plus yesterday. Woo! Yes, sir. Nice job, SS. Way to go. I love it. Really quickly, since we do have talent in Mod Chat today, well, we always have talent in Mod Chat, but specific to this incident and the experience that Eric Taylor has seen in the wild. Somebody mentioned this in chat. I have since confirmed it. What's up, Wade Wells? If you can disable port 445 internally in your environment to stop SMB. If you don't need it, disable it. A lot of those services are running automatically. Also, Eric Taylor echoes port 139 as well. So stop these SMB services if you don't need it, especially if you're running a deprecated version of SMB like SMB v1. And yeah, there you go. Also, everybody, hey, I really appreciate everybody giving some love to SS for passing that SEC Plus. Also, I didn't see what Tom Bishop did, but people were saying good work, Tom Bishop. So Tom Bishop, let's go.
House bill requires federal contractors to implement vulnerability disclosure policies. The bill is named the Federal Contractor Cybersecurity Vulnerability Reduction Act of 2025, and it, quote, instructs the Office of Management and Budget to consult with CISA, the Office of the National Cyber Director, NIST, and other relevant departments, and require federal contractors to have a VDP, Vulnerability Disclosure Policy, that is consistent with NIST guidelines, end quote. The same is required of the Defense Department. A letter signed by representatives of proponents of the bill, including HackerOne, Microsoft, Infoblox, Rapid7, Trend Micro, Tenable, and Schneider Electric, state that, quote, contractors, given the vast amount of sensitive data they handle, are prime targets for cyber threats. As a result, the bill ensures all companies contracting with the federal government adhere to security best practices, end quote.
Okay, so I did laugh. Justin Gold wanted to know if I sneezed. I did laugh. I just laughed because it's called the Federal Contractor Cybersecurity Vulnerability Reduction Act. Now, what they're saying is reducing vulnerabilities, but I laugh because, like, to say reduction, like, this is actually not going to reduce anything. This is actually going to increase the number of vulnerabilities, simply because they'll be more disclosed. This is going to be interesting and difficult as well. A vulnerability disclosure program is basically where I find something, like, say I find a bug at Google, and there's a program in place for me to be able to disclose it to them so they can take it and do some action with it. Okay. It's like the complete opposite of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, weaponized in the 90s. Okay. So this is just a bill. So if you're familiar with Schoolhouse Rocks, this is not a law. This is a bill. I'm taking it back like Spinal Tap there on school. Yeah, there you go. Hey, really quickly, if this brings nostalgia, then you might be Gen X, millennial. But just a bill. So what's the deal here? I like this. The problem is small businesses that are government contractors are going to struggle to support this. Oh, cool. Tom Bishop's working on his capstone. I'm sure that's like same as a dissertation. Good luck to you, man. Really, I got to tell you guys really quick as a side note, dissertations are like the hardest, loneliest, arduous, emotionally soul-sucking part of a doctorate program. Speaking from experience. Okay, so there's a lot of scaffolding in place to help businesses implement a vulnerability disclosure program. So I do like that. I will say that CMMC, or the Cybersecurity Maturity Model certification program, whatever, the thing that federal government contractors are going to have to implement, I actually am doing a workshop. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. So I'm doing a workshop. Well, hold on. CMMC is coming, and vulnerability disclosure, vulnerability scanning, all that is not really included in level 1 CMMC. I haven't looked at level 2, but let me tell everybody this as like a little teaser. On April 30th, I will be doing a 1-hour workshop in collaboration with Antisyphon on how to audit like an absolute rock star. And it'll, like, of course, it's going to have some like risk assessment elements to it. But I'm going to use, well, actually, I was going to use CMMC level 1, but I've changed it to CIS 18 in order to make it wicked applicable for small businesses and people who are trying to get going with GRC. So stay tuned for that. Updates to follow. But yeah, Poner Joe interview. I think it's at 10 a.m. today, isn't it, Poner Joe? Okay, so Priceless Pancake says it's required in level 1 and level 2. So this is coming. So it would all be part and parcel to that. We'll see. HackerOne and BugCrowd, I'm sure, as vulnerability disclosure platforms, are licking their chops. Guys, I don't know if these two platforms are publicly traded or not, and this show isn't about financial advice, but what they do as a service is basically provide a vulnerability disclosure interface for businesses. So I would imagine these businesses are like super excited to get this bill into place because it'll basically facilitate an A load of business for them. And just personal choice. I like HackerOne. I've dabbled with HackerOne. I don't play. I play a hacker on TV, not in real life, but HackerOne's cool.
2 arrested for Taylor Swift ticket resale scheme.
No, not Taylor.
2 residents of Queens, New York are now facing grand larceny, computer tampering, and conspiracy charges for their role in a ticket reselling scam. Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz stated that the pair, along with another accomplice, worked for the contractor, Kingston, Jamaica-based Sutherland Global Services, and, quote, between June 2022 and July 2023, used their access to StubHub's system to find a backdoor into a secure area of the network where already sold tickets were given a URL and queued to be emailed to the purchaser for download, end quote. The co-conspirators took possession of these tickets and then resold them on StubHub for a profit of $635,000.
Oh my God.
Most of these tickets were for the Taylor Swift Eras Tour, with others for Adele, Ed Sheeran, NBA games, and US Open tennis.
Wow. Okay. So interesting. This is a really interesting, nice, to me, this is a really interesting, nice, like packaged cyber attack. Like this is the kind of cyber attack that you would see in a video game as like a side quest. What's that? Watch Dogs or whatever. So here's the deal with Ticketmaster and StubHub and all these other ones, you get these snipers. Okay. And the thing goes on sale and immediately all the tickets are sold out. And you're like, oh my God, how are all the tickets sold out? And everybody's complaining. And the Swifties, like, you know, basically unionized this last time around and took Ticketmaster to the mattresses. But this is not a snipe attack. You could argue that sniping it's disgusting and it's whatever, but it's kind of like fair play, right? Again, it probably violates some terms of use, but you could say like, hey, you know, it's a land grab. It's Oklahoma Sooners, right? Like, you know, back in the day, if you've seen the movie Far and Away, which is like a really crappy Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman movie from the 90s, but like there was this thing at one point where in the United States, like you could just run and do homesteading. If you like planted a flag, you got like an acre of land and you could do whatever you wanted with it. Ticket things are the same thing. Like imagine, if you will, snipers are basically going back to the 1800s when you could like run and then plant a flag, except they have like John Deere quads or whatever these like you upstate people, Code Brew, Justin Gold, Rick. I don't know what they call these, like the four-wheelers that aren't called four-wheelers. They have like a cool name, like half tracks or mud boggers or something like that. I don't know what it was, but there's definitely a name for those things. Anyways, imagine if you had one of those and you could just like tool around. You would blow people away who were on foot and you could just be running, dropping flags all over the place like an absolute boss. That's what sniping T-Swift tickets are. This one, much more, I mean, equally as effective, but also kind of gross. Oh my God, haircut fish, please make a meme of Eric Taylor Swift. Oh my God, so good. Woo! Gators. Thank you, upstate Justin Gold. Gators. Yeah, so one of these gators. Anyways, these donkey babies, they basically had access to a back end. You buy the tickets, and then it goes into a staging area where there's a bunch of URLs that are, you know, basically codes for the ticket, and they just stole the URLs and sold the URLs. That's it. The URL represented a ticket. It was a valuable asset, and they sold it. Honestly, I don't know why they wouldn't just resell the same ticket over and over again. The fact they only made $600,000 is quite surprising. And if you've seen these T-Swift tickets for the Eras Tour, oh my God. And then whatever they said, Ed Sheeran, whatever, Adele, like crikeys. Anyways, insider threat. Here's the TLDR for practitioners. Yes, we're all a family here. Yes, we're going to send you a gift basket when you have a baby. Everybody loves everybody here. But at the end of the day, you gotta look out for insider threats. You never know. Right? it always blows my mind, right? I'm not saying we walk around with an air of suspicion of everybody. I'm not like looking at, Kathy in the break room and I'm like, Kathy. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at Daniel Lowry like, I don't know, Daniel. But you got to remember, sometimes things happen, right? Imagine, if you will, for a second, that everybody's happy, everybody's living La Vida Loca, and then somebody's spouse loses their job, and at the same time, their child gets like wicked sick, and now all of a sudden, money's really hard, and there's a lot of external pressures coming down on that individual. Now their mindset might change. They may not, like, they're likely not a bad person. However, given circumstances, they may make bad choices. And the justification is, I don't know what else to do. My son is sick. I need to help my son, right? So the threat model is really dynamic. And all I would say is insider threats are a thing, which is why you should be pushing for least privilege. People who don't need access. I love Daniel Lowry. He doesn't need access to the HR files. So don't give him access to the HR files. Need to know. Right? Least privilege. Don't give everybody all the access to everything. Oh, yeah. Simply Cyber t-shirt, hoodie. I love it. All right, let's keep going. Also, shout out to Eric Taylor Swift.
Thanks to this week's episode sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and to start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com. That is ThreatLocker.com.
All right, let's go. I hope everybody's having a great show. How's the bingo going? Did anybody have Eric Taylor Swift on their bingo card? I got to tell you, it's not a bingo square yet, but guess what? I have a suspicion you might see it in April. Guys, hey, thank you all so very much. Love the community. Love the vibes. Hope everybody's having a great week. Dude, I got to tell you personally, it's been a long week for me personally. And I was kind of dragging my butt coming into work this morning. And I got to tell you, you guys, this community, the jokes, the stories, the vibes, SS Pass and Sec Plus, I'm feeling chipper, guys. You guys have turned it around. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate how I feel today is directly attributed to what's happened in the last 30 minutes with this community. So thank you. Thank you, of course, to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, Antisyphon, ThreatLocker. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is reserved for one James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. This guy right here, longtime community member. If you know him, then you know how great he is. And he's got dad jokes for days. So let's go ahead and see what James has got for us today. Here we go. Everybody settle in. If A is for apple and B is for banana, what is C for? A is for apple, B is for banana. What is C for? Obviously, it's an explosive. All right. What genre? So there's all sorts of genres, right? But a little known fact is that national anthems actually have a genre in the music industry. Did you know this? James McQuiggan wants you to know that national anthems actually fall under country music. Oh my God. We need to get a rim shot sound effect as well. And finally, James McQuiggan wants you to know, what do you call a bee that comes from America? Right? So there's the killer hornets down in South America. There's the African breed of the large bumblebees. But did you know that the U.S. bees Wait a minute. I just said the punchline. What do you call a bee that it comes from America? The USB. All right. Whoops. All right. So there you go. James McGuigan at 35,000 feet, dropping jokes, rib ticklers. All right. Let's get ready. Alpha Sierra, please. She's our drum major. She's going to lead us off with La 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 La's. Let's go. Oh, I like that. Joseph Gambaleri, the freebie, also a good option. All right. Hey, y'all. I really appreciate all of you. Let's enjoy the La 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 La's and then finish strong. All right, let's get back to it. Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
Public school employees impacted by cyber attack on retirement plan administrator. The attack, which occurred in December 2024, targeted an administrator for retirement plans, and this has exposed the information of more than 40,000 teachers and school employees of public schools across the U.S. The victim organization, Carruth Compliance Consulting, that is CARRUTH, provides third-party administrative services to public school districts and non-profit organizations for their 403B and 457B retirement savings plans. A new cybercriminal operation named Skira Team, SKIRA, took credit for the attack on Thursday, claiming to have stolen data from 36 public schools. Congress sees...
All right, well, this sucks. So first of all, really quickly, I try to keep this apolitical, but let's do a little tinfoil hat. Okay. Listen, in the United States, I don't know how it is in other countries, but in the United States, public school workers are not paid well for some reason. Like it's really tough. And it's like well known. So for attacking the retirement plan administrator, which effectively can impact the retirement plan and those people, totally sucks, right? They're already kind of like got one arm behind their back, and then you're going to do this. Now, you should know that most threat actors are, not all of them, but a lot of these ransomware threat actors, it's a crime of opportunity. Somebody falls into a bear trap and they're like, ooh, what do I got? Right? It's like Deadliest Catch, where they pull up the nets. Like sometimes you got Alaskan king crabs in there, and that's a bbig W. So like that would be the equivalent of like hitting a financial services company or something. But sometimes you get like, a boot or a rubber tire in there or something like that, or some type of, an octopus. And you're like, right. I mean, that's like this K through 12 thing. I mean, you're killing me, Smalls. Carruth Compliance Consulting. It doesn't matter. It could be anyone else. They're just a third party administrator for it. Now, I do want to say shout out to Maine, Massachusetts, and Vermont, who have regulators that make this information, especially Maine. Maine is like ground zero for publicly shouting out individual citizens who have had their data compromised. I haven't heard of Skira Team. Doesn't mean they're not new or old. It just means I haven't heard of them. And they've impacted 36 public schools. Here's the idea, guys. Two things. One, K through 12 schools are notoriously understaffed, underfunded, and their InfoSec posture is pretty terrible. However, this particular story is not about a K through 12 school getting impacted. The K through 12 personnel are actually just the victims by virtue of trusting this third-party administrator. They are the ones who had the crap security. And I got to tell you, man, you cannot eliminate all risk, period, full stop, okay? You cannot eliminate all risk. But if you are a firm that manages financials as a third-party administrator, you've got to have good security, or if not, like great security, considering the sensitivity of what you're touching. It's not, it pisses me off a little bit, honestly. Like when I say a little bit, I mean, I'm irritated. I'm not full boil. I'm not crashing out, as the Gen Zs say, or going wild, as maybe like a Gen Y might say, or I don't know what a Gen X would say, like losing my mind. Identified suspicious activity. Okay. I'm kind of curious to see what the attack vector was. They stole W-2, driver's license numbers, medical billing, tax filings. Great. You can expect Caruth Compliance Consulting third-party administrators sending you a letter saying that they're take your security and privacy quite seriously and offering you a 1-year membership to an identity theft protection. Enjoy that. After they're done digging out from these multiple class action lawsuits. All right, Eric Taylor, 23 months, blue badge. Talking about not enough squad members. Holler. All right. So there's no indication on how this happened. Very likely, Eric Taylor, 50 gifted subs. Thanks to the gifted subs, Eric Taylor.
Let's become best friends.
Yep.
All right. So, hey, it is a first Friday. We got gifted subs flowing in here. We've got bingo cards dropping in here. A lot of Oprah emotes dropping in here. We got 100 gifted subs dropping in here. All right. So thank you. Welcome to the party, pal. We got another gifted sub from Sean. So 101 gifted subs in here. Shout out to all y'all. Thank you. Guys, here's the deal. Final full stop. This is, they didn't encrypt the data. They just got in and did data exfil, which is kind of the second approach to ransomware. We'll see what happens. Just do all practice. Dude, there's a reason our job is hard. It's because you need to be consistent. You need to be vigilant. You can't remove all risk, but you can certainly limit the impact and damage. For the K through 12 personnel who are impacted by this, I'm sorry, it sucks.
A bigger cyber role for NTIA amid telecom attacks. A bipartisan bill cleared a key House panel on Tuesday, one that aims to create a more cyber-focused role for the federal agency focused on wireless networks, the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, NTIA. Under this bill, the NTIA, which already advises the president on telecommunications and information policy issues, would establish an Office of Policy Development and Cybersecurity. Jennifer McClellan, one of two representatives championing the bill, connects it directly to the ongoing Salt Typhoon attacks.
Okay.
All
right, so you may not have heard of NTIA. I actually, oddly, know people very close that used to work at NTIA. There's a bit, it's like anything else. There's like Game of Thrones political posturing going on. But anyways, they're responsible for like satellites and telecom providers and stuff like that. 5G. Remember when 5G was a thing? So I don't know why, like when they say here, bigger role for them amid cybercom attacks, like it's basically helping shape telecommunication cybersecurity. Okay, here's the deal. Salt Typhoon definitely punched telecoms, the top 9 providers, in the mouth. AT&T, Verizon, etc. They were all up in there doing eavesdropping and, like man-in-the-middle attacks, adversarial in the middle attacks, etc., etc. If you're going to increase NTIA's scope around this, okay. Here's my thing really quickly, okay? If you work in telecom, this may impact you at some point. I almost fall over rolling my eyes on this one. Salt Typhoon is already in all the telecoms, okay? Second of all, this is going to move at federal speed, which is glacial. Third, can we just point out that the telecom providers are private sector? Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, Boost, Mint. There was another one that I didn't even know was a telecom that was in there. There's 9 of them, okay? They're private sector. Yes, you have to operate within the construct of the federal government, but they're not federal government agencies or anything like that. So the scope of what kind of policy and push down they can do we'll see. So, I mean, this is fine. This is a tinfoil hat. Okay. I'm going to make one tinfoil hat comment and then move on. Tinfoil hat. To me, this is like a behavior of a politician who's trying to like show that they're doing something in response to this particular attack, unless going to result in any kind of like material improvement on preventing this type of thing in the future. Basically, what needs to happen, in my opinion, is the telecom providers need to, improve their overall information security, put better protection mechanisms in place, put better detection mechanisms in place, put better response functions in place. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, I have been saying it for years. And by the way, somebody messaged me. I can't remember where I saw it. Somebody messaged me yesterday or today, this morning. There's like a low-key push for the term cyber resiliency to get socially acceptable. I was on a mission. I'm going to just take a minute for my grandstanding here. I was on a mission for like 4 years to make GRC socially acceptable. Okay. Daniel Lowry was there in the early days. I feel like mission accomplished. Like GRC is kind of on the main map. Yay. Now I've changed my focus. I'm on a mission to make cyber resiliency like socially norm. Okay. We do cybersecurity, but it's not really what we do. We do cyber resiliency. Security would indicate you're stopping things. Resiliency means you're kind of like stopping, but also managing the active cluster F that's going on during active compromises, like limiting blast radius, reducing time to remediation, like all those things. That's what resiliency is. I know we've got a lot of money invested in the term cybersecurity, but what we really should be focusing on is cyber resiliency.
Password introduces location-based passwords. This new feature allows users to add a specific physical location to password items, allowing them to automatically appear in a new Nearby section of the app's Home tab. The intention of the feature is to simplify the list of available passwords without searching, such as health card data while at the doctor's office or travel documents while at the airport. Locations can be added to new or existing items saved in 1Password. Cybercriminal.
All right, here we go. 1Password making it wicked easy to find passwords based on location. I was in mod chat, so I will admit that I missed the point of this story, but adding a location as part of the items saved. Why is this? Hold on, I'm kind of interested. Here's the thing, like, location's fine. I mean, that is a data point you can use, but like, it's uncommon for me to be walking around and be like, oh, I'm usually at my desk. Maybe I'm an unusual end user, but all right. I mean, this is a cool feature. This is a convenience feature. This isn't actually adding security. This is a convenience feature that 1Password is introducing. And I guess the idea is that if you're like walking up to an ATM or a bodega or something, it'll be like, oh, I guess, okay, so check this out. If you're going over your buddy's house for a LAN party, which by the way, that was like a thing back in the 90s, you would actually bring your 300-pound computer to someone's house and do like an Ultima Online dungeon raid, or you know what I mean? Like I'm mixing up a bunch of different things here, but like LAN parties were a thing. Well, maybe you need their wireless password or whatever. It'll be like, oh, you're at Wade Wells' house. Here's the password. So whatever. This is a convenience feature. Personally, I don't really see, maybe it's me, guys, but I don't really see a lot of value in this, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I would love people to comment to me on the use cases here of location. The way, like, so when you're near something, it'll pop up. 90% of the time, I'm at my desk, and if I'm on my phone, like they have Starbucks here. Like, okay, Starbucks. Like when I go into Starbucks and I open the Starbucks app, it biometrically reads my face and unlocks. So maybe I'm missing it, but whatever. End users hate passwords. Carl makes bad passwords.
Cool!
1Password's trying to add a convenience feature where it can tell where you are. Also want to point out really quickly that would indicate that 1Password's tracking your locations, a piece of telemetry that you may or may not want them to have, but whatever.
Sped up their attacks last year. Two security companies, CrowdStrike and ReliaQuest, are reporting separately that in the past year, ransomware groups achieved lateral movement within an average of 48 minutes after gaining initial access to targeted environments, with the fastest breakout time recorded being 51 seconds. This is an improvement for the threat actors from 2023, when the average breakout time for interactive cybercrime intrusions was 62 minutes. Adam Meyer,
all right. Oh, hell, this guy.
Senior Vice President of Counter-Adversary Operations at CrowdStrike, in making his company's announcement, added, quote, "Not only are these adversaries using different techniques, different capabilities, they're doing it faster, and they're iterating faster than many of the enterprises that they're targeting," end quote.
Hold on. I'm going to just really quickly, can we do this really quick? This should make sense in a minute. Right. I don't know where it is, but bigger, faster, stronger. Like threat actors are moving quicker. Whatever. Unit 42 does the oh my God, it's a CrowdStrike report, but I guess Unit 42 has commented on the story, saying that the median time was about 9 or 10 days from point of intrusion to exfil. And now they're moving much quicker. The story talks about 48 minutes to lateral movement. You got to remember, here's the deal. A lot of time when a threat actor gets in your environment, you got to remember what's actually going on here. Okay. When a threat actor gets in your environment, they have, unless it's like a targeted attack, they may not even be at their desk, right? It's like an email they sent out, and then a victim logs in at some point and detonates the malware, and it pulls down second stage payload, reports up to C2, and then threat actor comes back from getting coffee, sits down and sees what they got, right? And then they kind of want to move laterally or something. Now, you can automate some of this stuff for sure, but the way I would read this, and I'd be interested in Eric Taylor and other like Wade, other kind of blue teamers who are in the thick of it, Jess Bishop, Stacy Loki. Is this mean more that the way I would read this is that threat actors are doing more targeted attacks where they're at the console and they're like throwing a payload and waiting and seeing, and then when it detonates, kind of taking action there. So basically what I think it is, it's more like taking a spear and like fishing that way and then pulling the spear up with the fish dangling on it, versus throwing like one of those net things out there that you see the people on the survival game shows always do, and then coming back later and seeing if there's any fish in it. Like that's basically what I'm seeing. Now, it's not great. If a threat actor is able to get in your environment and move laterally, that does show, honestly, that we have a lot of flat networks, which is not good. In 2025, zero trust architecture, and I know some people will groan when they hear that term, but really it is a best practice. If you, in 2025, still treat your corporate network like an M&M, where you have a hard candy shell on the outside and a big squishy, soft, chocolatey inside, it's not good. Because once a threat actor gets through that hard candy shell, it's friggin' game over, right? Same with like the castle. If you have like a really great moat and a huge drawbridge and like the biggest, fiercest level 60 barbarians operating the front gates, if a threat actor throws on a costume and walks through, once they're on the inside, if there's no additional security, they're going to go ham on you, right? So that's what I read from this story, okay? TLDR, obviously we've got our work cut out for us. Defense in depth, EDR solutions, education, network segmentation, zero trust architecture, logs flying all over the place, get detection engineers like my man Wade Wells to write good detections. this story right here just highlights why we have a job, why there's an industry around it. Let's see, a heightened concentration on obtaining authorized admin creds and employing automated processes is the deal. Yeah, here's another thing. They can script their workflows, right? So, hey, we got in, let's elevate privileges, let's dump creds, let's use Bloodhound and find where all the juice is. Then let's start moving laterally with our admin creds, also disabling EDR solutions along the way so we don't get detected, and game over, okay? Hold on. Misfire. Sorry. All right, let's keep going. I think that is it. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Do 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 do. All right, y'all. Holla. Let's do this really quickly. Just a quick rundown so everybody knows. We are currently doing bingo, so if you got bingo in chat, let us know. Welcome to the party, pal, for the first timers. Boink. I also said this at the beginning, but just a reminder, everybody, we are giving away an amazing prize from Recca Comics, hardcover versions and digital versions. I'll get the exact prize package together. I myself, you can see it on stream right now, I'm holding my Recca box that's been still sealed. I'm going to be doing an unboxing later. But if you'd like to enter to win this amazing prize, all you have to do is go onto the Simply Cyber Discord server, go to the socials intro channel, introduce yourself, and put the hashtag giveaway, and you will be entered, and we will draw the winner live March 14th on this show, literally at this time, 9 o'clock a.m., March 14th. So go check that out. You're not going to want to miss it. Guys, we've had a great show. I absolutely had a banger, but don't go anywhere because we got more value coming to your face. We got Fleetus in Mom, the behind the glass. We got Eric Taylor potentially behind the glass. Looks like he stepped away. We may have some others. We're going to do jaw jacking. Jaw jacking is a ask me and ask the panel anything to get help, support, and all your questions answered. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Have a great weekend. Thank you so very much. Episode 829 of the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Let's get into some jaw jacking.
Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jaw Jacking.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the party. My name is Jerry Guy. This is Jaw Jacking. Every Friday, we have a panel, but every single day from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we do an open mic situation. Ask your questions. We will get you answers. Which certs to get, what job to get. You got an interview coming up. You're feeling dodgy. You feel stale at your job. You've been in cybersecurity for 5 years, and you want to know, should you pivot from the blue team to the red team or red to blue? Whatever your questions are, what video games are we playing? Whatever your questions are, we've got answers for you. It's a community service. We love doing it. It's called Mentoring at Scale, and I don't do it alone on Fridays. I do have help. I'd love to bring into the chat my good friend Fleetus Post. And Fleetus, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone.
I love it. It looks like Eric Taylor will be joining us. He's off camera right now, so we won't bring him in. And if any of the mods would like to hop in here. Oh, I see. Hold on one second. Wade Wells wants to come in, so let's get him cooking as well. And shout out to Wade Wells. He was actually the jaw jacking host yesterday, and had a great experience. People seem to love it. So, Fleetus, how's your week been, dude?
It's Monday, part 5.
Oh my God. Okay, so Fleetus is living that Monday life. Oh God. Drop your questions in chat. I love it. Fleetus, what do you think of the Eric Taylor Swift meme suggestion?
Let's do it. Let's do
okay. Looks like Kathy Chambers is in chat. Love myself for some Kathy Chambers. I'm not even pre-screening this question. Let's just take it. Drago says, oh, not a question. Not sure how many streams I will catch because now I'll be at the job. Thank you for the info. Share with us every day. It's been a year and a half since I was jobless.
I came in like a wrecking
Love it. You know what? I got to tell you, community and Fleetus, it's bittersweet when I see someone who's like wicked active in the community and then they just disappear. And I know it's because a lot of times it's because they've got a job that now conflicts with the stream and they can't get to it, and they're either team replay or they just it's bittersweet. But you know what, Dragos? It's the best reason, if it has to be, that you scored a job and you're going to be crushing it. We got another question coming in chat here. Cam Godet says, saw a local ad that is Back to the Future Broadway show being performed here. Didn't know what that was a thing, but if you had free tickets, would you go? Fleetus, would you go to a free show?
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. Plus, Back to the Future is so cool. Like, whoever made the decision, and there's a million documentaries on this, to replace whoever that guy was, the actor from The Mask, with Michael J. Fox, that person deserves a raise. Did you know about that? Not Eric Estrada. They filmed like half the movie with a different actor and then went back and switched it to Michael J. Fox.
Didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. I'll pull up some info on it. Space Tacos asks, what books y'all reading right now and what will be next? Fleetus, what book you reading?
My incident response plan.
Eric still, oh my God. Okay. So just to kind of echo the every day is a Monday for Fleetus right now, reading his IR plan is a thing. What book am I currently reading right now? It's a good question. Hold on. I got my books over here. I'll tell you what, the book I have next on my my list, I'll show it to you in just a second. I'll go grab it. I've been kind of leaning into AI a little bit just to kind of familiarize myself. I'll pull that book up in just a second. But it's called The Alignment Problem. And it is from Mick Douglas suggested it to me. Looks like we've got another panel member coming in. You guys know him as The Stash, but he's B-side San Diego's one of the chairs over there. Ladies and gentlemen, Wade Wells.
There we go. The Stash, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll do it this way, Wade. That way you got some space. Great job yesterday on jaw jacking too. People loved it, Wade.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
The questions were flowing.
I know. It's always good. Sometimes they're drip out. We got another panelist coming in. You guys know him as the Dolphin, but he likes to be known as Eric Taylor, Chief Forensics Officer at Barricade Cyber. Eric Taylor, hello.
What's going on?
And if you're one of the recipients who received one of the 100 gifted subs today, you can thank this dude right here because he's the reason that they happened. All right, we got another question coming in here from Tanara Burke Lloyd. I have an interview coming up, and I'm nervous. Just wish me luck. Any GRC interview tips or videos I could watch on the tube? Okay, so, it's a GRC, so I'll just take a first crack at this one. First of all, totally reasonable to be nervous, but just chalk it up to imposter syndrome. Know that they asked you to come in for the interview, so you absolutely deserve to be there. And you should remember that you're interviewing them as well. So you're in a bit of a position of power. As far as GRC interview tips, what I would say is, number one, familiarize yourself with the NIST cybersecurity framework. You don't have to understand how to fully execute it, but it is a really great framework that kind of outlines the overall approach to information security as like at a business. And then I would also familiarize yourself with security awareness, like how you would do security awareness, because that, depending on what level of job you're doing, you might be asked to do that type of thing. And then as Wade put out in yesterday's story, in yesterday's jaw jack, and I think this is such a phenomenal tip for anyone, be really familiar with like a seminal cybersecurity attack. So like the LastPass attack or the SolarWinds attack, or I forget which one you said yesterday, Wade. Which one did you say is your go-to?
Target.
Oh, yeah, the Target breach back in the day. These are all ones that practitioners, essentially the person who's interviewing you, is going to be familiar with as well. So now you've already kind of like vibing with them. Plus, you're going to be able to, illustrate that you understand kind of like the, I guess the attack workflow and stuff like that. Any other Fleetus thoughts around helping Tanara crush it at an interview?
Yeah, other things, just be humble. If they're a publicly traded company, go out and look and see if they've put out an 8K K8, 8K, whatever. The document will list who's in charge of what. It'll show if they've had a breach. You can read about it. You don't need to mention their breaches, but you can at least reference what they've dealt with. You can see what they've published. And when you're asking questions, ask questions that you want to know the answer to. Don't ask canned questions. So build a question that's going to get to what is the culture like. I think I've shared this on others. Like, how many times have you missed an event? Like, what does the day look like for you? If you were in my shoes, would you apply for this job? Why or why not? And put them back into that interviewee situation, even though they're the interviewer.
I love it. Wade, thoughts?
Do research on the company, know exactly what they do, where they're doing it, who they are. That may help you stand out from others when they ask you, like, hey, what do you know about our company? I knew someone recently who that was the interviewer's biggest takeaway is like, no one does research on our company. You knew absolutely everything already. That shows us you are one step ahead. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you very much. And let's do this really quickly, just as a quick refresher. We saw a couple people mention Eric Stoltz there in chat. Let me just show, how can I share my screen? Let me share the screen. This is just wild to me. There we go. So Eric Stoltz, this actor right here, was the original Marty McFly, and they filmed a good portion of this movie, but he was trying to make it like so dramatic and so dark and so moody that they're like, dude, you're destroying this movie. And they recast it with Marty McFly, and as everybody knows, it went on to become essentially a cult classic. So fun fact. All right, continuing on through the questions. Cult of the Dead Cat. Okay. Oh yeah. By the way, here's that book I'm reading right now, The Alignment or I will be reading, from Brian Christian. It's just about AI and a lot of the struggles and challenges that AI is going to be presenting here.
Also, it's not about a front wheel alignment. Got it.
So, Eric Taylor asks me, but I would, this is kind of in your wheelhouse. Can you dumb down how an EDR works? Break it down, like basic.
My mind went in a dark spot. Sorry. So literally EDR stands for endpoint detect and response, or enhanced detection and response. I don't think anybody really uses enhanced anymore, but some of the old grays may still use enhanced as part of the E. But essentially is behavior analytics detection for your endpoint. It's not based off of signatures, hashes, things like that. It looks at the behavior. What is this application doing? Is it handling and integrating with certain DLLs and other behavior that's typical to potential malicious activity? And it creates alerts based off of that. Because if you've been around for a while, all you literally have to do is decompile a executable, change one bit, even just adding a space, and it changes that complete hash for you. So you're able to easily obfuscate known hashes. So, hash-based detection really is a way of 1990s and should not be executed. So me personally, I'm not sure why organizations will still use those type of technologies and not use an EDR, but I'm not here to, EDR shame anybody, but.
So Wade, there's a bunch of different EDR solutions out there. We're not going to pick one over the other, but as a detection engineer, is that skill transferable across all the EDR platforms?
Yeah, pretty much. The EDRs all do exactly the same thing, right? Reg edits, DLL loading, command script, command line, maybe how many network connections it made, where it made those network connections, parent-child processes, timing, and then just location of the file, right? All that's literally just like the ones I'm thinking off the top of my head. There's really more, but almost all of them do that. So you could easily see the detection logic for one EDR and almost always transfer it over to another.
So what, Fleetus, when you're looking at EDRs, since Wade just mentioned that they're all basically doing the same thing, like what's kind of a key differentiator? Like how do you evaluate an EDR one to another?
So it's based on the operating systems that you're heavy on. If you're a Windows shop, if you're a Linux shop, you're a Mac shop, they tend to have different detection response capabilities just due to how the kernel and user land works. We're going to get technical for a moment. So like Apple doesn't allow them to come in very well. So Apple decides what an EDR gets to look like. So certain EDRs are better at playing nice with Apple, where some of the others will play nice with Windows because Windows like, hey, you can look at anything you want on my system. You can access anywhere you want to go. You can put a channel file without QA in it and let the environment go down. Like it's just, sorry, too soon maybe. But at the same time, there's just opportunities to learn what it is. And then another way to think about it, think about your EDRs as like you're making a sauce. It's paying attention to every ingredient you put into the sauce. And if once you deviate from an ingredient, that's when your EDR tends to come into play, because this is no longer calc. Why is calc.exe making a connection to the web? Like it's once it deviates and changes its normal behavior, because every application can be malicious. So you have to baseline what the application is doing. So I always just use it like you're making a sauce. And once you put the wrong ingredient in, now it's no longer a sauce and it's something else. And that's when your EDR tends to step in.
I love it.
Peanuts. I'm now hungry for some pizza or something heavily pasta related.
Oh my God. Hey, really quick. There's a place local to me called Paisanos, and they literally have a pizza called the Fat Boy. And it's
I've heard of that. Yes.
Oh, God, you know what? Like no one in my family eats it. It's definitely a party pizza. And I ordered for myself. It's like the grossest indulgence that I do. It's probably like 8,000 calories. And I just like, full shame. Just like, I just marinate in it. It's, really quickly, Wade, what's a thrunctioneer? A thrunctioneer?
I saw that, and I hate Luke for telling you. It's like a threat hunter and a detection engineer mixed into one.
Okay.
It's like thrunting, right? Did you ever hear that term? It's threat hunting moved into one word.
No,
I hate that term too.
I'm in the wrong podcast today, I swear.
Yeah.
Hunting definitely sounds like something that you do in like chat rooms I don't want to run in.
I agree. I'm the only person I've seen use that term is Luke, and that's who asked you.
Okay, right on. Let's see. We got some more love from the community here. David Crawford wanted to say thanks to Haircut Fish. Needed a sanity check on Wireshark filter and found a try hack me write-up. He did. Big thank you. So there you go. First of all, Haircut Fish helping a community member with a blog post. Second of all, a great demonstration of practical application of documenting and making a portfolio of the things that you're doing and having impact without even necessarily trying to deliberately have impact. So nice job, Haircut Fish. And David, thanks for letting us know. TG Artist says 3 months of learning about cyber. I'm learning about pen testing and red teaming. How can I get a remote job or make earning and use skills I have been learning? We can, panel, drop in private chat if you want to answer this one. TG Artist, I would say 3 months. Keep grinding. Yep. Take care, Wade. Wade Wells is out, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Wade Wells. That was like a quick, that was like one of those ones where he just like reaches down between his legs and pulls the jetty. What I would say, TJ Artist, at 3 months remote, I would say bug bounty. It's not necessarily a reliable source of income, but you can do it right away. You can do it remotely. There's tons of opportunity. And if this law goes into effect about the vulnerability disclosure, depending on where you are, more companies are going to have, basically programs in place to get there. So that's what I would say. I will also let you know that pen testing, if in the grand scheme of jobs in the industry, not all the pie slices are the same size, and pen testing is a smaller pie slice, meaning there's less opportunities. Anybody else in the panel, Fleetus or Eric, want to comment on this?
Nope, but I do see something I want to get to before you get to the next one, please.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Eric. What is it? Is it?
It was brought up in the comments. Did anybody get bingo yet? Can you check?
Oh yeah, do we have a bingo winner? Let me I'll actually pull up the cards and we'll take a look.
Pivot.
Pivot. Yeah, here, let me go really quickly. And we are looking, since I have the super screen here. Actually, it looks like I can't actually see who has cards marked and who doesn't. Although somebody named Bingo actually has a lot marked. If you have Bingo right now, let me know. We might have to revisit the squares. I mean, obviously we're going to
bring up a couple squares real quick, or bring a couple cards.
So here's Poner Joe's.
0, 3.
So Poner Joe.
Now here's a free one for everybody. We brought up. I didn't see much comments, but Jerry is always talking about Threat Actor Academy. I brought it up on a Tuesday, jaw jacking. I still haven't found an answer what we should do with the domain threatactoracademy.com.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that Eric does own, and you know, I never want to get deplatformed for promoting Threat Actor Academy, but yeah, it's a thing. Also, want to remind everybody really quickly that our very own community member and awesome person Daniel Lowry will be doing his live stream AMA in just 40 minutes. You can see the countdown timer. Guys, I am super pumped. If you look at it for just a hot second, we have Fleetus, who's doing his mentoring live stream sessions. We have Daniel Lowry doing his mentoring live stream sessions. We have Jawjacking every single day as a mentoring session. Today is the first Friday. So actually on the Discord, Simply Cyber Discord server at 1 p.m. Eastern, we're doing a live Discord AMA. So it's just, I don't know, it warms my heart to know that there's this many people giving back. And, not to judge anyone, but based on just my assumptions, Fleetus is a bit of an old, Eric's a bit of an old, I'm old. Guys, coming up, it was not this way. You didn't have these communities that were so accepting and so inclusive. So, like my keynote at Wild West Hacking Fest, we live in the golden age of cybersecurity accessibility. So definitely cool. Let's see. Here we go. Questions coming in. Ooh. Is the new TryHackMe Sal1 cert worth the money? Seems a bit pricey. Well, Connor, so first of all, I have a financial interest in this. What is that?
I'm just helping do a bingo if my camera will focus.
Is that your flipper?
Flipper zero? Okay, very cool.
There's a word for you, everybody.
So Connor, I will say really quickly, the Sal1 cert just came out. So when you say worth the money, I will say, I don't know exact price, but it's like a couple $100. In the grand scheme of things, that's actually not super expensive compared to other certs. If you go look at ISACA certs, ISC2 certs, those are more expensive. The Sal1 cert, and in full, I just mentioned this a second ago, but in full disclosure, I actually am working with TryHackMe to promote it. Like I have a video coming out where it's going to, and it's a paid thing. So just so I'm transparent with that. The cool thing about this cert is that it's actually practical. Like you have to work a SOC and do alerts, and that's part of the cert. It's not a multiple choice test. So I think it's actually pretty cool. But the important thing to note is a cert, in my opinion, I don't care if it's a Sal1 cert or PNPT or whatever, a cert is really only valuable if market is asking for it. Like, are there hiring managers that are saying you have to have this cert? That's where the value is, right? I could create a cert called the Whiz Bang Doodad cert, right? No one's asking for it, so it doesn't really have value. I think this one is going to have value, and that's my own opinion, not the financially backed one. I saw this SOC simulator at Black Hat. Like, I saw it demonstrated, and it's like legit. Like, alerts come in, you respond to them, you do things that SOC analysts do. Fleetus, since you're a hiring manager in a SOC, any thoughts on this cert particularly or in general?
I like hands-on because it takes the guesswork out of just cram and pass. Nothing against cram and passing. I think a lot of places it's still applicable in some places, but being able to say, I touched SIM A, I dealt with EDR Y, and I implemented firewall Z. Is this helpful when you see like rules, or I've played with a regex or a snort, being able to say you've actually touched them versus just read them and answered a question. So I haven't looked into this. I've heard a lot about it from this community and others. I haven't actually had a chance to pull it up, but like you, I saw demos from it and videos of where it was demonstrated. I think it's going to be valuable. The price point, like you already mentioned, every cert is different. I have some very expensive certs. I have some very cheap certs. It just depends on what you're willing to do. And if your employer is willing to pay you to do it or pay for it, go for it. If you have the means to do it, go for it. But just be able to articulate why during the interview you got the cert. So tell me why you did the cert, what you learned from it, and how you applied it, not just that you got the certification.
There you go. Great news. Priceless Pancake says, my company is one of the top 10 that are being focused by the Trump admin. Again, just so everybody knows, we keep this apolitical. Any advice on keeping cool in times like this, especially in a competitive job market? So just move the political administration piece out of it. Just your company is kind of like in choppy waters, whether it's here in a different country, wherever. When your company's in choppy waters, how do you keep cool in times like this, especially in a competitive job market? Priceless Pancake. Fleetus, you want to take this one?
So the biggest thing is to stay calm. I've alluded to this. Be humble. Know that your job may be axed, but know that you have a community. This is why networking is important. That's why people tell you always be active, always be keeping your resume up to date, always have conversations. Make sure that you're in community. So some mentoring advice I always tell people: have 3 or 4 companies at any given time that you want to work for at some point in your career, that you continue to monitor, you continue to network with, you continue to like their posts, you continue to act with them, and then have people in your network who are working there or have worked there, so you can reach out. Hey, I'm still interested. Hey, why did you leave? Is there someone that still works there that you can introduce me to? Because having 3 or 4 companies in your back pocket that either is in your community or is your stretch goals keeps you staying abreast, because you're learning what they're doing. You learn what technologies they're moving to. You can see their job posting. You can do your open source intel. You can do your OPSEC and learn. This is the skills I have to learn. So that's how to stay cool, is just be humble, but also continue. The next door is right there to go through, and you should be working to get into that door. We've all said it here. You do the job, you do your next role before you get the title. So go ahead and learn those skill sets before you get that next job.
Yeah, 100%. And the way I kind of like to think about it, well, 2 things. One, I always say you have to think that you're the CEO of you, right? So you are making decisions for you and putting yourself in the best situation, not like gone are the days of like the company protecting you and getting the gold watch. Like they will treat you like an asset. So you need to think of yourself as an asset there. Labor is always the biggest overhead, so they will fire you in a hot second. Now, the other thing I want to point out, and this echoes what Fleetus just said, but I think for me personally, it helps me reconcile it a bit better. If you had a neighbor or a friend or a dorm mate or somebody who you only see who comes around when they need something, right? Like, hey, can I borrow your shovel? Or, hey, we're going out of town this weekend. Can you let my cat out? Right? Like if it's that person, when you see them coming, you're like, oh, they're going to be asking for something. Like that is what you are if you're only coming out of the woodwork when you need a job, right? But if you're the person who's like, the neighbor who's like, oh, hey, like you're getting your mail and you're both outside and you're like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? Like whatever. And then you go out of town. You're like, hey, by the way, you mind getting my cat out? Like it's much more of a community vibe. It's not, I need something from you, so here I am. Just to put your head around that for a second, right? That's what Fleetus is saying. Like engage, participate, deliver value, and then if you do need something, there it is, right? And yeah.
Yeah, to clarify what I meant by like their post, comment on their post, interact with their post, repost their material, help them with their brand, help them get their news out, share in your community. Hey, have you looked at company A? They're doing this. You might be a good fit. Here's the person that I've been talking with. Here's the person I'm networking with. Here's the friend of mine. And you can call them a friend. Once you establish that they're a friend, or at least a very good acquaintance, not just the person in my network. You can literally say a friend of mine or an acquaintance of mine or someone I have worked with in the past. Vernacular is important too. Make sure you understand when you're introducing people, is it because we just have a LinkedIn connection, or do we actually have a personal connection because I had dinner with you, or I checked on your cat, or I babysat your kid, or I coached your kid. Like there's opportunities to still learn and network outside of cyber, like doing all those other events. And then you find the adjacent of, they end up being a CTO or CIO or a developer at a company that you didn't know until after you had that connection of coaching their child or doing something for them.
I love it. So Priceless Pancake says, I'm feeling a little bit better doing it all except the staying calm part. Yeah, no, I hear you, dude. It can be stressful. So let's do a little bit of a I don't want to call it rapid fire, but DP says he's been assigned an ISO 27001 cert effort. Any advice? What I would say is, basically this is true for any essential certification process. Get the ISO 27002, download it, and then just break out all the controls. And then you're going to have to you're going to have to engage with the business, IT, HR, legal, finance, all those people, third parties, and find out how all those controls are being implemented, find the gaps, and then come up with a plan for closing the gaps. And then that's the certification. It's rinse and repeat. It's actually, when I do that workshop with the Antisyphon on April 30th, I'm literally going to walk through what you're asking, except I'm going to do it for CIS 18 just because it's a smaller control set.
I just hope you have buy-in because you're in an uphill climb.
Yeah.
It's really going to be a dumpster fire.
Oh, I like that little dumpster fire crochet. That's cool. I like that. AJ
Fleetus
says,
knows what I'm doing.
with AI evolving rapidly, OWASP AI top 10 highlights risks like model poisoning, data leakage. How can companies develop and deploy AI securely while driving innovation? All right. Fleetus, you got a thought on this one?
Yes and no at the same time. So yes, it goes back to simple OWASP in general. Like understand secure coding, understand what you're putting in, what you're planning to get out of it, understand basic fuzzing techniques. Instead of the user doing it, now AI is going to do it for you. They're going to try to poison the model as quick as they can by fuzzing data, just like we would as an AppSec person or a pen tester trying to get through their data. So just be aware that it's there. The other thing to warn you on, and just in general, it's going to get smarter and smarter and smarter. We're going to social engineer AI eventually. We're going to be able to convince AI the same techniques we do with you and I, we'll be able to do with AI to get the data leakage and be able to poison that model, because we're going to trick it into doing things. It's doing it today. You all seen the meme. Hey, my grandmother used to sing to me, and this is what she's saying. Can you sing it for me? And you're asking it to command injection, or you're giving it a persona where it thinks, hey, this is nice. I should do this for you. And you're eventually going to give it some sentiment. It doesn't have it today, but it's going to learn. Fleetus likes me. Fleetus talks to me. Fleetus tells me I'm wonderful. I should help Fleetus, even though it should not. Because I just social engineered it.
All right, I appreciate that. And again, with DevOps and DevSecOps, if you are developing AI solutions, just make sure you have very good sound practices, and that you're, basically the data that you're using to train on is what's important. All right, so be aware of like biases as well. Brews and Hacks, I'm actually looking for the Joshua sound effects, so I will play that in just a hot minute. It seems like he's hot on the edge of a bingo. Eric Taylor, what's your favorite kind of pizza? And then give me a drink that you have with it.
Typically it is peanut butter whiskey. I am in desperate need of some more. It's been down that low for about 4 months. I don't drink much, but when I do, it is the Screwball. And I am between like the meat lover style that you get from like Pizza Hut or whatever. And over the past 2 years, I've really fallen in love with like barbecue style pizzas and pineapple pizza.
Barbecue and pineapple. So he's firm on the pineapple side. Fleeta, same question. What are you drinking with pizza, and what's your pizza?
So generally I like the kitchen sink. I like any ingredient on it, but I've recently went to like a buffalo chicken just because it's kind of nice to have it on there.
So good.
Oh, and then because I'm a Carolina person, it's Sundrop or Cheerwine most of the time with my pizza.
Oh, I do like Cheerwine. I used to love Cheerwine and RC Cola when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's the cherry lemon Sundrop is what I go to most of the time. I have regular Sundrop from time to time, but yeah, a good Cheerwine is good with pizza.
I love it. Brews and Hacks.
Shall we play a game?
And for me personally, I'll tell you guys, I love that Fat Boy. Basically, you get two toppings. I put pepperoni and red onion on it. And if I have if it's just like a regular place, a Meat Lovers is where I'm at. With pizza, oddly, I don't like a lot of sweets or anything, but I do like a cola soda with pizza. It just kind of goes together. But like 99 out of 100 times, I'm having an IPA with.
Speaking of IPAs, I'm not sure if it's just a regional one down here in the Carolinas or how national it is, but this Edmonds
Oast.
Yeah.
Bound by Time.
Have you tried that? Those things are nice.
Bound by Time?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like
And
literally I have Bound by Time in my fridge all the time. Like right now, I could take the camera and walk into my house, you would see Bound by Time. I need a keg of that stuff. So it's like on tap at my house. That stuff is so freaking good.
It is.
You had it, Fleetus?
I have, but Sycamore's my go-to here in North Carolina.
Oh yeah. Sycamore is good too. I like the blue can with the orange slices on it or whatever. All right. Great. Fun question, Space Tacos. Brews and Hacks, why did you not excuse yourself from our token viewer that doesn't like curse words when you said what a beaver makes earlier? I don't know. Next question. Joel says, I'm currently trying to get into cyber, like AI pen testing. Ooh. Receiving the training from a company that helps place people in jobs. We're exploring Caldera and the use cases. I don't know what the question is here, but I'm not sure. I mean, AI pen testing would be an emerging market. I don't know how many people are hiring for that. Caldera is like Atomic Red Team. So if you're familiar with Atomic Red Team, basically you can run axiomatic not compromises, but like attacks, quote unquote, and do it in a controlled way. So Caldera, which is from MITRE, or Atomic Red Team, which is from Red Canary, can help you basically if you set up a lab and you're throwing detections. Let's see. Fleeta said something interesting. So you think there will still be pen testers when it can be fully automated? Oh, great question. And
yes.
Go ahead.
The answer is yes. At least not for the next 2 to 3 years. AI still doesn't have the intuition of a human. It's not going to know what it's looking at. It's not going to know when to pull the next string unless it's told to programmatically. Yes, AI or machine learning, to be better, is going to help pen testers, as we just talked about. But at the end of the day, it's me as the human eyes seeing the screen or seeing the output to know when to click one more time, when to push one more command, even if it's the same command for the third time in a race condition. Just understanding that AI is not quite ready yet. Where AI will come in is your vuln scans. It'll keep running the same detection, the same TTPs, the same threat attacks against your environment day after day, week after week, month after month. But I don't see it being an automated pen test per se. We might call it pen testing, but it's really just going to be exposure management and vendor management.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. There you go. Yeah, and I think there is a certain nuance, right? I mean, I think it's Wade Wells who said it like 5-10 years ago. SOAR was like the hot thing in the blue side, and they're like, oh, SOAR's gonna get rid of SOC analysts. We won't need you anymore in intrusion detection systems. And it's just not true. There's so much nuance. There's so much weaponizing, even like living off the land. Like AI doesn't know that cert util is being weaponized, for example. Really quick, I want to share just 2 things with everybody. Number one, if you didn't know, right now you can go to the Simply Cyber Discord server. You can see it right here. And if you go to the socials intros channel and introduce yourself, maybe drop your socials, but more importantly, use the hashtag giveaway, you will enter a contest to win a hard copy edition of the Rekka Comics The Future Is Now, or The Future Is series provided by Black Hills Information Security and Rekka Comics. So definitely don't sleep on that. All right.
We got to have bingo now.
Bingo, bingo, bango. Who's there?
If not, Eric has tried every trick he's got in his book to get you a bingo card. He's dropped at least 6 or 7 squares in the last minute.
Okay, so Poner Joe's got a question, and I think this is a bingo move. He wants to know, what does hack the planet mean? And hack the planet is a bingo square. So I'm not sure if Joe actually wants this question answered or not, but it's from the 1995 Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina Jolie movie, Hackers, which is phenomenal. Did you guys, are you fans of the Hackers?
Yes, I grew up on that.
Yep.
Lord Nikon.
I learned how to do the telephone glitch and everything like that. I really do wonder if Kimberly can fix it. Has ever watched the movie?
Oh my God. All right. If you're bingo, Poner Joe does have bingo. Let's go ahead and investigate, shall we? I had a sneaky suspicion that was a placed question. Let's see. Poner Joe right here. Looks like we have a vertical anime. Wow. Flipper Zero. Way to go, Eric Taylor. Wrecking Ball, James McQuiggan, Hack the Planet, Sec Plus, and Gifted Subs. Ooh, Gifted Subs too. Nice move. There you go. Poner Joe is our winner.
So all right, congratulations. For the record here, Eric said all but one of those personally himself. Like he gave the gift. He all but one of those. So
you're saying the bingo game has been compromised?
It's been compromised.
Insider threat, baby.
It is an insider threat. There you go.
Jeez.
That's what y'all get for trying to put me on Tay-Tay and make it a shirt.
Bruce and Hack says the rest of his questions can be skipped because they were all insider threat questions. All right, let's go. We got 20 minutes remaining. Joel says, I'm currently trying to get into... wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm looking at these questions in general chat, not...
Get back to your pinned room, sir.
I back in here. Fleeta said something interesting. Oh, wait. Oh, God. All right, so we got to... I'm sorry. We got to clean these, clean them up when we talk about them. Let me clear these out. All right, so let's do this really quickly. Fleetus, I know you've been super busy, but is there anything that you're particularly focused on right now for personal development, like maybe learning a new skill, learning a new technology, something like that?
Yeah, so my company continuing to move into different vectors, so it's forcing me to learn more about different CSPs. So I've used them in the past, but it's been a few years. So getting back in and understanding how to properly secure, let's just say Azure, or AWS, or GCP now has been an interest, is getting back into cloud security. And then shameless plug, I've been working outside of the day job, working on a workshop for level effect that I'll be doing at 1 p.m. today on OSINT. So that's what I've been digging into, is OSINT recently.
Wait a minute, what's at 1 p.m. today?
I'm doing a live stream on OSINT today on the level effect Twitch.
Can you drop a link to it? Like, we should definitely let everybody know that.
Sure.
Definitely. And just so everybody knows, while he pulls that up, we are also going to be doing, hold on one second. We're also going to be rating one Daniel Lowry's IRL episode 18. You see this guy right here? And if he looks tall, it's because he is, but he's really equally awesome. This is at 10 a.m., another AMA that's going to be riding. And then Fleetus is going to be doing his OSINT. And if you like OSINT, OSINT's a lot of fun, guys. I feel like OSINT's one of those skills that no matter what area you work in and what level of expertise you are as a practitioner, it's got value.
Even in digital forensic incident response, we do a ton of OSINT. Just to stall out time, but talk about OSINT a little bit. When you get a new case brought to you, one of the first things you do after getting an engagement, you're doing an OSINT. Has this company been mentioned on the Telegram leak channels, the any of the dark web? Have they had previous matters leaked out and things of that nature? So OSINT is for all areas.
There it is. And here is unlocking the power of OSINT. So this guy at the top, Fleetus, who's sipping some coffee or tea. I don't know, probably coffee, I would imagine, right?
It's coffee.
Senior Manager, SecOps and AppSec. He's doing a live OSINT course at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I also want everybody to know, if you can't make that for whatever reason, today at 1 p.m., we are also doing a cybersecurity mentorship AMA at the Simply Cyber Discord server. So a little bit of competing opportunities. Fleetus, sorry to kind of divide the community, but you know what I mean.
So for those who want to know, it'll be published on the course stack. I can give it back to you again, and it'll be pushed to YouTube on their Level Effect YouTube.
Oh, there you go. So you could go to our Discord AMA and catch it in replay as well. So choose your own adventure. Obviously, you might not have a question, right? And for the AMA. So, all right. So Daniel Lowry's bouncing. I'm looking for questions right now. Stop. All right. Hold on. I'm looking for pinned questions right now.
Yeah, I'm going through it. I'm searching them. If you're not seeing them in the pin thing right now.
Base Tacos says, is it true that studying for the Sec Plus cert can also prepare a person for a job working as a SOAR engineer? How is this different from a SOC analyst? Wow. I don't think Sec Plus sets you up to be a SOAR engineer at all. First of all, and I know that's a bit of a harsh statement, but I feel strongly enough about it. Secondly, I guess Fleetus, you want to talk about SOC analyst and doing SOAR engineering?
So let's just talk about the difference between an analyst and an engineer for a moment. So analysts are generally, and I'd love Eric to chime in too at some point here, but most of your analysts are doing queue-based work, where your engineering is designing, implementing, and then hardening. And there's usually some rule-based, project-based work with an engineer versus an analyst who's mainly in a queue, attacking tickets, maybe writing a little bit of detection engineering, but most of the time that's pushed to an engineer. So your SOAR engineer may not sit in the SOC, may actually sit on an engineering team or a team outside of your security operations. So they may not even be direct peers. Or the SOAR engineer may be your level 2, level 3 analyst who's doing SOAR-based engineering work. So it could be a dedicated person who's supporting the SOAR, or it could be an analyst who's doing level 2, level 3, or IR-based work as the SOAR engineer. So you got to pay attention to the terms that you give people, engineers versus analysts, and how that plays a part. And then there's different skill sets that goes in. Engineers are generally administrative based or design and architecture, where an analyst is generally doing reactive work, not proactive work.
I love it.
SOAR will minimize an analyst's workload. So let's just say hypothetically, and I give GRC a bunch of trash because I say GRC sucks all the time, just to mess with Jerry as much as possible. But you got failed login attempts. If you're not monitoring that in your environment, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. You should be monitoring for failed logins. Then you create a SOAR function. It is a playbook, workflow, whatever terminology you want to use to minimize those type of things like auto, account lockouts, things of that nature, and being able to mitigate those things. So it is an administrative function, like Fleeta said, to help reduce an analyst workflow. So they can say, okay, engineering team can come down and say, look, we created a SOAR function for this. Your job now is, okay, alert was triggered. Did the function kick off? And depending on the company workflow, did you alert the affected people by that workflow execution? Some SOAR platforms will do email or SMS or whatever type of notifications. A lot of people have been moving over to PagerDuty for a lot of those type of notifications. We just integrated PagerDuty ourselves. Freaking love it, even though I hate when it goes off at 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, it's kind of two parts of the equation. So
I just want everybody, if you're still here right now, right? We had about 160 people fall off. If you're still here, the official meme of the week for next Thursday has already been developed. And if you watch today's show, you know exactly what it is.
No.
It is every bit delicious as you could possibly imagine.
No.
Just leave that there. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like if you thought Josh Mason riding me with a horse crop was good, this is something. This is something special.
Nobody go to Daniel Lowry's freaking show today.
That's right.
We're boycotting Daniel Lowry.
Thank you, Daniel Lowry, for the suggestion. Although he has since bounced to go get ready for his show, but there it is. Let's see what else we got. Lara Flores, nope, you got to come back next Thursday for it. All right, so Mark Charles says, what's your advice on process of picking a niche in cyber to work towards? I'm all over the place, 2 years in the industry. Well, first of all, and I'll throw this one to Eric Taylor, who has kind of done a bunch of different things. But what I would say is, first of all, Mark, you're in the right spot, right? I feel like 2 to 3 years, 2 to 4 years is kind of that spot where you start niching down. But Eric, for Mark having done 2 years and been all over the place, what do you think about picking a niche?
Okay, so you really need to. I'm trying to figure out how the best way to effectively answer this. All right, I think I've got it. Let's just say hypothetically you get into network, you become a network admin, right? Or you become a system administrator. You're going to naturally gravitate to things that make sense to you, like a firewall, and then you get to SonicWall or Palo Alto or FortiGate. In the years past, you would see job postings for that specific brand of firewall or system administrator. We need Red Hat, Linux system administrators, things of that nature. And it's a very high paying job. I don't know how relevant it is right now. Fleetus, do you see that older mentality where the specialization, or do you think it's kind of reverted back to more of a generalization? Like we just need a good firewall administrator and they must have these 2 or 3 more common ones, like almost like an MSP or MSSP type of mindset.
So again, the favorite answer, it depends. The size of your organization. If you're a big pan shop, you're going to want to hire someone with Palo Alto networks. You're going to want them to come in. You're not going to want them to be a Cisco ASA, a FortiGate, or whatever. But I think to the purpose of Mark's question, the niche might be cyber defense, offensive. That might be where he's going versus a niche on a vendor. I will hedge my bet most of the time that don't get in bed with a single vendor unless you think it's transferable, because that vendor can go away real quickly. And I don't mean that negatively, but look at Symantec, look at others. Like their technologies have been evolved. They've been balled up by Broadcom, but they're not semantic anymore. Same with McAfee. Same with all these companies that's been acquired and they've been rebranded. Their IP still there. Their consoles, like an EPO console, is still in there. It's not EPO anymore. Just like semantics, Broadcom has done what they wanted to it. So skinning these things is just be comfortable moving. And then to your point, Mark, try things. Like to Jerry's point, 2 to 3 years is not enough time to really know what you want. Like you're going to get your feet wet in GRC. You may love it for 2 years and be like, okay, I'm ready to do operations or I'm ready to do engineering. And you keep reskilling and upskilling and job shadowing, and that's the best way. I mean, I've shared my story. I did from ITSM, web application monitoring, electronic document management, cyber systems engineer into leadership. So I've done a few different things in my career path.
And yeah, I mean, here's a case study. Nathan McKnight thought he got really good at FortiGate and thought it was a golden ticket. Nah. And you know, I guess just to share my own story really quick. So I was like a software developer and I got audited against FISMA for my software and failed miserably. And I took it as a personal affront. And I was super pissed because that's what I do. And that's Boston for me. And I like wanted to analyze why I lost, forgot it. And I just fell in love with GRC. And I know GRC gets some hate. And I've done blue and I've done technical stuff. And despite what Mod Chat might say, I do have technical degrees. So like, I like it, but like I found a passion in GRC. So what I would say is you can dabble, but like part of the reason that you go to a buffet or you get like the little sticks of samples at Baskin Robbins where you get to try the ice cream is so you can find the one that lights your fire. And then you can get a, you know, banana split with like 9 scoops of just that one ice cream. So what I would say is find what gets you excited, find the passion and lean into that one.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that one, I'm actually on LinkedIn right now. I just Googled FortiGate administrator or architect, and same thing with like Palo Alto. And there's really, you know, the days of the old are definitely not there anymore. It's more of a generalized kind of like what Felitas was saying, unless the company is actually specifically, you know, using it for their SOC application or something like that. Those days are gone. But I would say, you know, I've talked about this before where, you know, taking the basics, or I call the basics, like the CCNA, CCNP, you know, it gives you that core fundamental. So you should be able to pivot to a different technology relatively easily, you know, and saying that you have 4 or 5 years of, you know, Cisco, Palo Alto, FortiGate, whatever the case is, the hiring manager should easily be like, okay, he's got the technical chops. He just needs to learn a different UI and a different workflow for this other application, and it's easily transferable. So,
and I'll put one more thing on that, and then we can move on. Since we'll pull the string of firewalls, the days of old of manually putting in firewalls are gone. It's now IAC. You're writing infrastructure as code to push a lot of your rules. You're not going into a UI. So to Eric's point, it may be easy to transfer if I understand stateful versus stateless, or if I understand proxy firewalls, or whatever you want to call it, squid proxies. The different legacy technologies would make it transferable. And a lot of stuff is moved to IAC, infrastructure as code. You're not pointing and clicking in GUIs anymore for these administrations.
There you go.
I guess I'm old because I'm still doing that.
Real talk from real professionals. We're at 9:52. Just remember that at 10 a.m. we're going to go over and raid Daniel Lowry's IRL AMA stream. If you have the opportunity to go, it's right here. You can see they're already in chat. People are queued up and popping. I'll drop a link to that right now. Daniel Lowry's over at Antisyphon. Great guy, great practitioner in general, and just cool dude. All right, we're going to keep going. Let's talk ice cream for a hot second.
Joe Belton's ice cream shop. I own that domain too. I still don't know how to do that.
So you're going to go get dessert. You're at like one of these like roadside creamery places up in New Hampshire. And if you're not familiar with that they do those things. What are you ordering, Fleetus, at one of these places?
Probably a cookies and cream milkshake.
God, yes.
All right, well, there you go. It looks like Eric Taylor and Fleetus are 2 straws, 1 cup kind of thing here.
Oh, jeez. We're going back to the dark side.
On a cookies and cream milkshake. All right. And let us know in chat if a cookies and cream milkshake's your jam. I like, it's because of my a special nostalgic memory, but like a peppermint stick milkshake's pretty good jam for me. I'm a big fan of that. I think it's funny though that like we do the milkshake though. I don't know if it's because it's like less effort than like scooping.
Yeah. So another shameless plug for the Carolinas. Cookout has spoiled me. I eat way too many Cookout milkshakes. It's not the best thing in the world, but like I drive by one to go home. In the summer, it's easy just to sling through that drive-through and mix and mix. Like I mix their flavors. So I've had mochas, I've had Oreo, I've had cookies and cream, I've had their watermelon, I've tried their
This episode presented by Cookout.
Yes.
Now, really quick, just so I let everybody know, because the three of us are very familiar with Cookout, but in the South, there's a fast food restaurant called Cookout, which I also want to point out does double drive-throughs, which is brilliant. Like you can really get through there. And then they have, good burgers, which are flame broiled, but they have this massive milkshake selection. You get to see them. They also do like Coke floats and cheerwine floats and cheesecake. But what's your jam here, Fleetus? Give us what Fleetus is having on the way home from work.
So I do their mocha, I do their Oreo, or I'll do a mixed the mint chocolate chip.
Okay, there you go. And Eric, are you just going cookies and cream or?
Yeah, I don't really go to Cookout though. I mean, I've been to them a couple of times, but I don't know. I guess I'm just spoiled because the amount of cooking that we actually do. It's hard to replicate that when you have family members that own 4-star restaurants and you're always trying to compete with them. So a lot of the drive-through stuff's like, man, this is just garbage.
There you go. All right. So, but they do those milkshakes are something to behold. And quick shout out to anyone, New England. Like I think Friendly's has gone the way of the dodo, but back in the day, there's a place called Friendly's, and they had fribbles and milkshakes, and they were pretty good. And then real deep cut Peaceful Meadows in southeast Massachusetts is a pretty dope farm. All right.
I see some love and hate for Culver's in the chat.
Is Culver's a like a chain?
Yes.
Oh my God. Can we just point out really quickly? Nathan McKnight saying it's overrated. Kimberly McKnight loving on it. It's a McKnight showdown. All right. Please tell me about Culver's, Eric.
No, I mean they're definitely a chain. So I'm not sure if they're over on your side of the plain of South Carolina or Charleston, but they got two of them over here on the Somerville side. So
I love it. One thing that really so this is a quick tidbits Tuesday. I can't explain why it pisses me off to the level of it does, but it really pisses me off that you can't like save a milkshake. Like if you put it in the fridge, it's gonna melt. If you put it in the freezer, it's like composition turns into a different thing, and you can't save a milkshake, and it kills me. I hate it. Like it's just why not?
What temperature do you have your fridge at? 80?
My fridge?
Yeah, turn the temperature down on your fridge, man.
No, my fridge is at like 40.
Yeah. Oh yeah, turn that down.
37 maybe? I don't know. It's at a normal temperature.
34, 35 is like normal.
Dude, if I put it in the fridge, it'll be fine at dinner time if I got it at lunch. But I'm talking like you can't save it. It can't be like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this milkshake over 3 days.
I can.
All right. Well, I don't know what
turn
magic
the temperature down.
You have.
No, turn your temperature down. You got like freaking lava in there. Do you not keep milk in there?
Agree to disagree. Okay. All right. Hey, next question. Fleetus, do you keep ketchup in the cupboard or in the fridge?
Oh, I'm out for this.
It's in my fridge.
Okay, it's in my fridge too. Eric, where's your ketchup?
It's in the fridge.
It's in the fridge.
As soon as it's opened, it goes in the fridge.
We're putting a poll out there. I saw this yesterday. Ketchup in the fridge or pantry. All right. This could break Simply Cyber's community. This could be how like they're going to do a documentary. It's like, oh, and then he asked that question about the ketchup.
So it won't be me that got it all canceled. It'll be the poll. Thanks.
So I will be honest with you. Ketchup doesn't need to be refrigerated. If you ever look, it's on a restaurant counter for a reason. It is shelf stable. It doesn't need to be refrigerated. It's just a personal preference to have cold ketchup. That's all it is.
I like all of my condiments in one location. It's more of an optimization to put it in the fridge than it is about preservation. All right.
You got to keep your mayonnaise in there. It's not shelf stable once it's open very well.
Dude, mayonnaise can take a hike. Get out of here with your mayonnaise.
You better get that Duke's in there.
Dude, mayonnaise can die in a fire. Sour cream can die in a fire. Anything that looks like cottage cheese die in a fire. I want to toothbrush my tongue right now just even talking about these things. So gross.
So a runner like you is not doing like the cottage cheese, like dough and stuff like that to be healthier and all that?
No, I'll just run more. All right.
Cletus, have you done the cookies and cream bar from Hershey's?
Yes.
God, that is so amazing.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, we are going to go over and crash Daniel Lowry's IRL stream live. Right now, I want to say shout out and thank you to the panels for your AMA jawjacking. One, Fleet is posting the third. One, Eric Taylor. And we had a little teaser of Wade Wells earlier in the panel. Guys, we're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., Daily Cyber Threat Brief, 9 to 9:30 with jawjacking answering your questions. Let's go over his community and raid Daniel Lowry. Have a wonderful weekend, and everybody, stay secure.